In today's fast-paced world, we all seem caught up in the hustle and bustle of modern life. It's easier for the younger generation, but what about the older ones? Have you ever thought back on those skills your grannies, parents, and even you had many years back that are now outdated? Today we dive into the lost life skills of the baby boomer generation. Let's find out. Topping the list of the lost life skills of the baby boomer generation is using a compass. This is a small, handy tool that doesn't need batteries. It can help you find your way even without a map. It has largely gone out of use. You mostly only find it in use today among people who enjoy outdoor activities, boomers especially. A compass works by pointing to magnetic north, which is a bit different from the true north. Once you grasp how to use it, a compass can reliably show you which way you're going and where you are. While phones have compass features, knowing how to use a traditional compass is still valuable, especially for emergencies. A compass is still useful for times when your phone dies while you're in an unfamiliar place. There you have it. These lost baby boomer skills were the in thing back in the day. Our grannies, parents, and even some of us learned these skills as a way of tradition. In other cases, it was a means of survival. Whatever the case, these skills were really helpful. With technology taking over, most of these skills are the sort of things you now only see in a museum or exhibition center. Moving on, we have the manual development of photos in dark rooms. Before the era of digital cameras and instant printing, capturing and preserving moments was a much more hands-on process. Baby boomers developed their skills in the dark room, where they transformed rolls of film into tangible photographs. Photographers would carefully load their exposed film onto reels in total darkness, mastering the delicate dance of winding and unwinding in complete darkness. Once the film was securely loaded, it was time to develop. This involved carefully dipping the film into a liquid. After development, the film was carefully dried and inspected. But the process didn't end there. To create physical prints, photographers turned to the enlarger. Using an enlarger, photographers would project the image from the negative onto light-sensitive paper, adjusting focus and exposure settings to achieve the perfect print. Once exposed, they dipped the paper in a series of chemical baths, much like the film, to reveal the final image. It was a delicate balance of art and science requiring precision and patience. In today's digital age, the dark room has become a thing of the past. Besides, nobody today has the kind of patience required to get one picture ready back then. However, you just have to appreciate the dedication that went into every photograph. Next, we have stick shift driving. According to EPA data, around 35% of cars launched in the United States during the 1980 model year were equipped with manual transmissions. However, after 40 years, that figure has crashed to approximately 1%, with automatic cars dominating the roads. Many boomers find themselves missing out on the joy and challenge of mastering the clutch and gear stick. One of the reasons the stick shift fell out of favor is the sound a dropped clutch makes. It's not very pleasant. It is also quite stressful having to shift gears often. Not just that, you had to be alert to know when to change gears. However, many boomers thought shifting those gears was really cool. After talking about driving a stick shift, we have an even weirder one. Now imagine you had to write down the phone numbers of all your contacts in a small black book. It was a necessity back then. The only other option was to memorize phone numbers. This in itself was a skill. Back in the day, boomers had to keep track of home phone numbers and friends' numbers and select family members. The ones they couldn't keep by heart, they wrote in a phone book. It was also important to carry the phone book around, especially if you had to use the payphone. Today, cell phones have taken care of that problem. You can store over 1,000 numbers without breaking a sweat or carrying a book around. Sitting pretty next to stick shift driving is the art of hand washing. The percentage of people who wash their clothes by hand is decreasing daily. Before the washing machine, hand washing was the only option. A child from an early age is already engaged in this basic home chore. Hand washing involves several strokes on a piece of clothing to remove dirt. This could be tedious, but it becomes more tasking when dealing with harder stains. Although the washing machine has taken away much of that stress, some people still prefer traditional hand washing. Even today, traditional hand washing is still common in rural areas. In the United States, some people, for many varying reasons, choose to hand wash some of their clothes. When asked on Quora, several users said they prefer hand washing because it made the clothes fade less. Our list will not be complete without making a mention of traditional food preservation. Back in the day, our parents and grandparents knew a thing or two about keeping food fresh without relying on the grocery store. They were masters of canning, pickling, and fermenting. Canning wasn't just for kicks, it was a way of life. From fruits to veggies, they would seal them tight in jars, using heat to kill off any pesky bacteria and keep their goodies shelf-stable for months. Let's not forget about pickling. Baby boomers had a knack for turning cucumbers, peppers, and even eggs into tangy treats that could jazz up any meal. Then there was fermenting. They would let nature work its magic on cabbage to create sauerkraut or on cucumbers to make deliciously sour pickles. Sadly, these once common skills are fading away fast. With the rise of prepackaged and convenience foods, many of us have lost touch with the art of food preservation. Now it's time to speak of a lost skill that reminds us of the days when fixing things was the norm, not the exception. The repair and maintenance of household appliances. Once upon a time, people didn't change refrigerators like they were underwear. If the washing machine or the vacuum cleaner went bad, they would first consider repairing them. The more admirable part of this was that they didn't even need to call an electrician, most of the time. Once something got spoiled in the house, no drama, no fuss, they simply rolled up their sleeves and got to work. Today, many of us prefer to replace stuff than attempt to fix them. That takes away the satisfaction that repairs bring. And number 3, we're tipping our hats to the boomer generation's respect for natural resources. Respect for natural resources was common in the boomer generation. They didn't just talk the talk, they walked the walk when it came to recycling, composting, and conserving energy. They recycled, sorting through glass, paper, and plastic like it was a $1,000 paying job. When it came to composting, they efficiently transformed kitchen scraps into nutrient-rich soil for their gardens. This process was similar to creating valuable organic fertilizer. These eco-conscious individuals were experts at saving energy. Turning off lights, unplugging devices, and making the most of natural light was a lifestyle. Until the baby boomers, the current world has developed a consumption and throwaway culture. The environmentally friendly habits of the boomers have become increasingly rare. It would do a lot of good to take inspiration from the baby boomers and revive their green practices. It's time to reduce waste, reuse items, and recycle whenever possible. Because let's face it, saving the planet is always in fashion. While this may be shocking to you, the simple pleasure of ironing clothes is yet another lost life skill of the baby boomer generation. The laundry routine of the baby boomer generation was hand washing, then ironing. The boomers used heated irons to press on the fabric to straighten it out. For them, it wasn't much of a tasking chore. It was the kind of thing they did on a lazy weekend when catching up on some family time. Today's fashion trends have ruled out the need for ironing clothes. A lot of clothing is now made with wrinkle-resistant fabric. Additionally, most washing machines come with a wrinkle-free setting. This ensures that the clothes do not come out rumpled. There are also anti-wrinkle sprays available to ensure your clothes are not rumpled. Due to these advancements, ironing has become forgotten in many parts of the 21st century world. And finally, we're getting our hands dirty with the skill of changing car oil. Baby boomers took DIYs to a whole new level. They were electricians, mechanics, and tailors whenever the need arose. Changing the car oil was common among the boomer generation. Car owners had the technical know-how to efficiently change their car oil. They knew how to operate the car jack and the specific type of oil for their cars. They also were never shy of parking their cars, opening the toolbox, and getting to work. These habits created self-dependency in individuals. It also improved their thinking capacity. People these days consider working on their cars a dirty job. After all, why work on your car when you can call a professional who needs only a few minutes to appear? Plus, there are electric cars that don't even need the traditional engine oil. Which of the skills do you think the baby boomers enjoyed the most? Share it with us in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done that. Thank you.